This video is taken from my course on how to create a hybrid casual mobile game. More info in the description. Hey guys, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to learn how we can actually update our UI display that we had right here. Let me refresh your mind a bit. So this UI right here, and yeah, it should definitely update whenever we harvest a crop. So let's do that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is actually open the inventory manager, okay? Because he is the one responsible for configuring the inventory display, and he will be the one responsible for updating it, right? So we are going to update our display whenever we harvest a crop. So let's have a look at the crop harvested callback, which is right here. So we first tell the inventory that we've harvested a crop, okay? So it will help update our inventory. So we can add a comment right here. So update our inventory. Okay, cool. Then we save the inventory. So the method is pretty straightforward. Okay. And before saving, or actually after, it's a choice. You can decide to do it after or before. We can actually grab the inventory display and tell it to update the display. Okay. Like so. Perfect. We can also pass in the inventory like we've done for the configure method that we've called right here. Cool. Now we just need to create this method. So let's go back to our inventory display, create a new public void update display method that will grab an inventory like so. Perfect. So this method is going to be quite long, so please bear with me. I'm going to try and explain step by step. And if you've got some questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section, okay? All right. So the first thing we want to do is the same that we've done right here in the configure method. So we first want to grab our items. So I just copied this line and pasted it here. Cool. After that, we want to loop through our items. Okay, so same thing. Right now, nothing changes. But this is where things will change. So let me explain, because we have multiple situations. Imagine that at first, we have two crops, so that's perfect. But imagine that we now sell those crops to the buyer, let's say, okay? So you have two possibilities. You either delete these two containers, like so, or you can actually save some memory and just disable them. By using this method, you'll save memory, so your game will be more performant. It will be kind of optimized, okay? So yeah, we can try and start with the destroy method, and then I can show you this method, okay? Perfect. So let's now go back to our script, okay? Okay, so for the first method, we are actually going to clear the crop containers parent before entering that loop. So let's create a while loop and be really cautious with while loops, okay? They can be really dangerous because they can crash your game or your editor, okay? So we are going to be really cautious. So while the crop containers parent.child count is greater than 0, so while we still have UI containers active as children of the crop containers parent, what we are first going to do is grab that container, so transform container equals crop containers parent.getChild at index 0. So index 0 is the first child, okay? But if you try and destroy it like this directly, you will crash your game. You first need to grab the container, set its parent as null, so this will help you unparent it from the crop containers parent. Got it? And after that, you can destroy it. So destroy container.gameObject. Perfect. This is the best procedure to destroy or to clear the children of a game object. And I encourage you to use that method, okay? So let's add a comment here. Clear the crop containers parent if there are any UI containers, okay? UI crop containers, cool. And after that, we can actually use the same logic that we've used here. So let's grab these 3 lines, drop them here, and we are good to go. But to optimize a bit more, what you can do is remove this, or let's actually comment it. because we are going to use it for the second method. And we can simply call the configure method by passing in our inventory. And as a comment, we can add create the UI crop containers from scratch again. So this is the first method. It's not optimized, but it's working. Actually, it should be working. So let's give it a try. Okay, so let's hit play. Let's actually sow our crops. Okay, perfect. Nice. Only 2 left. Okay, we're good to go. Let's now water them. Okay, and harvest them. And now it's updating. So now I have 42 and 43. Awesome. So this is working pretty well. That's the first method that you can use, but it's not optimal. Okay, so let's now tackle the second method. Let's actually create another one. Let's keep this one. You know what? I'm going to comment all of these. Let's remove this, maybe drop it here. Okay, we're good to go. Let's grab these lines and create the method from scratch again, like so. Okay, cool. Let's add the loop, by the way. So items.length. Cool. So now we are going to check if the index I is less than the crop containers parent.child count. What does that mean? It means that we already have some UI crop containers active in our list. Okay? So instead of destroying them, we are going to reuse them. We need to recycle from time to time. So let's grab that. UI crop container instance equals crop containers parent. This one dot get child at index I dot get component UI crop container, like so. Now we've grabbed that container. Awesome. We first want to set it to true. So container instance dot game object dot set active true. Cool. And after that, we need to apply the same logic that we've used here. So let's grab these 2 lines, drop them here. So we first grab the crop icon data manager with the items index I crop type. Perfect. And now this is not the same name. So container instance dot configure, and we should be good to go. Awesome. So that's the first step. So now imagine that we don't have enough crop containers inside of the crop containers parent.child count. That's bad, actually, is it? So we need to create some new ones. So let's add the opposite condition. So else we are going to create a new crop container. So let's actually grab this line right here. Perfect. And we can then configure it. So let's grab these 2 lines. And don't worry, we're going to optimize that really soon. Let's actually rename it container instance. Okay, perfect. So we are done for this. Now let's tackle the other situation. We need to disable all of the other containers if we have more than necessary, okay? So for that, we can calculate the remaining amount of containers. So let's drop it. Let's cache it inside of an integer. Remaining containers equals crop containers parent.child count. So we grab the amount of container that we have right now that are active, and we subtract the items.length, the amount of items we have in our inventory. And this will give us the amount of crop containers that we need to disable. So now we can first check if this is greater than 0. So if remaining containers is less than 0 or equals. Oh, I'm still inside of the loop. Oh, come on. No, we should not be inside of the loop. Let's exit that. Okay, right here is okay. So if we don't have any remaining containers, we are simply gonna return, okay? Like so, as simple as it gets. Otherwise, it means that we still have some remaining containers. So let's disable them. So for I equals 0, I is less than remaining containers, okay. We are going to grab the crop containers parent dot get child at index. If we use the index I, we are going to start from 0, and that's not good because we don't want to disable the first crop container. If we have 2 crops and 3 crop containers, then we want to start at index not 0, not 1, but at index 2. So we need to first pass in the amount of items that we have, okay, just to be sure that we can display these items and don't destroy their crop containers, plus I. And this should be good, actually. So this is the child. Let's grab its GameObject component and set its active property to false. Okay, perfect. So this is a bit trickier than the other method, but I wanted to show you both the methods so that you can choose the one that you prefer. So if you're aiming for performance and want to increase your knowledge on how to achieve that, here is the way to go. And by the way, we can still improve that. So let me show you. We are defining the container instance twice. So instead, you can grab this line, define it here. Okay, let's not initialize it. We can remove this creation and this one also. And we actually apply the same logic inside of this condition and this condition. So what you can do is grab these two lines, cut them like so, remove them from here also, and drop them after the condition checks. So now we can remove these curly brackets. All right, that's better. And we should be good to go. So let's give this a shot. Let's instantly sow and water our tomato field. Okay, try and harvest. 33, perfect. Seems like it's working. Awesome. Nice. But we need to check, we need to try the other. Yeah, we definitely need to try the other possibilities. So let's add a method to clear our inventory, shall we? So let's open our inventory manager. Okay, let's go to maybe somewhere around here before the load inventory method. So let's make a private void clear inventory, like so. Perfect. So in here, we can grab our inventory and let's tell it to clear itself. Okay, so we're going to create the clear method inside of the inventory class. And after that, we can, of course, call the inventory display and tell it to update the display by passing in the inventory. Perfect. Let's now open our inventory class. Okay, let's create the clear method somewhere around here. So public void clear. And to clear the inventory, we are simply going to clear our items list. That's quite simple, is it? So items.clear. Perfect. Actually, after that, we can also save our data. So save our inventory, like so. Perfect. And we should be good to go. So let's actually add a button to trigger this method. So let's add the Naughty attribute dot button. Perfect. Let's now go back to Unity. Okay, so now we have that button. Perfect. Let's play, and we should have true crops. All right, so that we have, so we do have two UI crop containers. Let's try and clear the inventory. Both of these should be disabled if that's working properly. And it is. Awesome. So now if we plant and harvest, only the first one should turn on. So let's grab our cornfield. Okay, so water and harvest. Cool. That's working really well. Awesome. Let's give it a try. Again, let's water the tomatoes. Let's make a salad. Okay, perfect. Awesome. You now know how to recycle elements in Unity, at least to some extent. So yeah, that's perfect. You've learned two methods here. Now the ball is on your side. So decide which one you want to use and of course use it. Cool. Now that this is working properly, in the next lesson, we are going to add a market. So we need to grab the model first, of course, and yeah, should be good. So see you in the next lesson. We'll be able to sell our crops. Let's make some cash. See you there. Bye-bye.